Hello, I am Russell. This is the second part of my fig garden tour video series. If you have not watched the first part, I recommend you watch that part too. So let's go to this corner of the garden. This is a fig called Uncle Quirky Honey Delight. It produces delicious honey flavored figs. It has not been so much productive for me. It produced a few figs last year. This year I pruned it very aggressively in winter, as you can see. It seems to be a little behind in terms of growth. I can see that it just started producing some figlets here and there. Uncle Quirky Honey Delight. So let's go to this fig tree here. This is one of the yellow long necks in 5-gallon pots. It has not produced any figs for me so far. I have grafted a sesak on this tree past March. The graft seems to be doing well. I plan to cut the yellow long neck branches and convert this tree to a sesak tree. I don't have any sesak planted, but I have 3 sesaks grafted on 3 different trees. This is one of them. So let's go to another fig tree. This is my Round de Bordeaux fig tree. It is one of the most vigorous and prolific figs in my entire collection. It produced a lot of figs for me last year. It is also loaded with figs this year. Round de Bordeaux. Practically 1 feet at any node. It produces a small dark figs with berry flavor. Last year its flavor was average for me. I hope it gets better this year that the tree is more mature. It is also an early and reliable variety. As you can see, the canopy is very open. So let's go to this tree here. This is a fig called Muscatel Preto. They say that it has a caramel-like flavor. Unfortunately, it has not been very productive for me. It produced a couple of figs last year, which tasted average. It has formed only a few figs this year so far. You can see a few figlets formed so far. Muscatel Preto. So let's go to this tree here. This is another Sakura Black that I have planted in 20-gallon pot. It has not been so much productive for me last year and also this year. I pruned it very aggressively in winter, so it seems to be a little behind in terms of growth. I can see that some figlets just started to form on this tree. Sakura Black. So let's go to this fig here. This is my panache tree. I planted this tree in 2021. My tree has not been that much productive or vigorous. I expected more from this tree. It has ripened very late for me, mostly in October. Figs are very sweet with berry flavor and a thick skin. I like chewing their skin, but some people they don't like figs with thick skins. I plan to graft a couple of other varieties on this fig tree next year. Panache, also known as tiger fig. So going here to this fig tree. This is my LSU Scott Black. This is a productive fig tree. As you can see, it has formed a lot of figs this year. In general, LSU figs, usually they do well. It didn't produce that much last year, but the taste of the figs was great. Definitely a recommended fig tree. So let's go to another tree. This is a fig from Malta called Maltese Falcon. It has not produced any figs for me so far. Maltese Falcon. So let's go to this fig tree. This is my black manzanita planted in ground. This fig produces medium to large size figs which are of sweet berry flavor. They are beautiful too. It is relatively productive. It gave a decent number of figs last year and has created a lot of figs this year. Decent number of figs I can see here and there. Black manzanita. So let's go to this fig here. This is an Excel fig in 5-gallon pot. I rooted this tree myself from a cutting from my ground Excel tree. It is very vibrant, as you can see. It has produced several brevas. Excel is very good breva producer and also very reliable breva producer. It has put on a lot of main figs too. Here, these are main figs. Excel. So going to this fig tree. This is a fig called Nostra Senora del Carmen. I heard a lot of good things about its taste. That's why I have added this fig to my collection. It is a late season fig. Last year it did not produce any figs for me, but it has formed some figs this year. I'm really looking forward to tasting them. Nostra Senora del Carmen. I hope I have pronounced its name correctly. So going to this side of the garden, this is a black Madeira fig tree. I have 3 black Madeira fig trees. All of them are planted in 20-gallon pots. One of them is grown from cuttings and 2 of them are grown from tissue cultures. This is one of those grown from tissue culture. You can see here. I purchased them from a reputable seller in California who claimed that they are free of fig mosaic virus. They are growing like weed. I pinched the top to stop their growing. They also produce a lot of suckers from roots. Shape of the leaves are different from my black Madeira, which was grown from cutting. They may change in future, I'm not sure. The tissue culture ones were in 5-gallon pots last year, and I have potted them just this winter. They have not produced any figs for me yet. So let's move to the other fig tree. This is a fig called Capul Curta. I heard that it has very good taste. Unfortunately, it did not produce any figs for me last year. This year it has formed some figs which I hope to ripen well. Let me show you a couple. There's a figlet formed here. Also, one is formed here. Capul Curta. So next to this one, we have my unknown prosciutto. It is very similar to white Madeira number 1 in terms of taste, but in my opinion, a little bit better. It produced well for me last year and is also loaded with figs this year. It produces bearable figs too. These are bearable figs. It produced my best tasting bearable last year, as a matter of fact. Unknown prosciutto. Definitely a recommended fig tree. So going here, this is my black Madeira grown from cutting. This fig seems very vibrant and loaded with figs this year. Last year it only gave 1 fig, which was spoiled before ripening. Black Madeira is said to be the king of figs with the best taste. It is very notorious for being late season, but I look forward to tasting some figs of this tree this year. Show you the tree from this side too. Black Madeira. I don't know which type of black Madeira it is, but maybe I investigate it later. So let's go to another fig from Black Madeira family. This is called Black Tuscan. It is said to have similar taste to Black Madeira. It did not produce any figs for me last year, but this year, as you can see, it has formed several figs and figlets. Black Tuscan. So going to this fig tree, This is another black Madeira from tissue culture. Like the other one, it has not produced any figs for me so far. So let's move to the other fig tree. This fig tree is called Violette de Soulier. I have two Violette de Soulier fig trees, both planted in 20-gallon pots. They are among my most vigorous fig trees, but they have not been productive so far. I have pinched the tops to stop their growth and push them to produce figs. They did not produce any figs last year. They just formed a few figlets this year. I can see just a couple of, I think 3-4 figs on this tree. Violette de Soulier. So here it is my Figo Preto, planted in ground. It is from the Black Madeira family. I heard that it tastes very similar to Black Madeira, but it is a couple of weeks earlier. It produced only one single fig for me last year, which was spoiled before ripening. As you can see, it has formed several figs and figlets this year. I look forward to tasting them. Figo Preto. So going to this fig tree. This is my Burgan Unknown fig tree. I have two Burgan Unknowns. This one is planted in pot. The other one is planted in ground. It seems very healthy and vibrant. It did not produce any figs last year, but I see some figs are formed this year on a couple of its branches. Let me show you them. Burgan Unknown. So going this side, this is my Negra de Agde fig tree. It is very prolific, producing a small to mid-sized berry flavored figs. Its figs are very delicious. It is one of my recommended fig trees. Negra de Agde. Loaded with figs. Very productive. So going to another fig tree. This is my Peter's honey fig tree. It is not so much vigorous for me. The tree stayed small, but it is very prolific. It produces mid-sized honey-flavored figs with a very thick skin. Figs of this tree have one of the thickest skins in my entire collection. Peter's honey. I guess it is one of the earlier figs. Going to this one. This is another Mount Etna type fig that I have. I have purchased this as a Glacia Negra from a seller on Figbit. The seller contacted me later and said that he is not sure if he has sent me the right fig, and he might have sent me a Mount Etna type fig instead by mistake. Later, when it fruited, I decided to keep it because it was very vigorous and prolific. It was my most productive fig tree in pot last year. It produced small to medium-sized dark figs, sweet with mild berry flavor, similar in taste to my red Lebanese Bekaa Valley. As you can see, it is loaded with figs. Tons of figs on this tree. In 2021, I bought a black Madeira from eBay and planted it in ground. It turned out to be fake, producing a mediocre fruit. However, it was so vigorous that I decided to convert it to a multi-grafted fig tree. I chose 4 of its branches and grafted 4 different varieties on them. Let me show you the grafts. Let me go to the other side and show you. Here is graft of panache. It has done very well, and as you see, has produced a lot of figlets. This is a graft of termalito. It has formed some figlets. It is interesting that the tree which I took the graft cutting from has not formed any figs so far this year. Coming this side, here is a graft of Colidum gigantina. This graft also produced some figs this year. All of these 3 varieties were grafted in March 2023. I have also grafted a sisak on this branch in March this year. This is a graft of sisak which is doing very well. So let's go to this fig. This fig is called Mercedes Gem. As you see, it is very productive, loaded with figs. It is very vigorous too. It only ripened a couple of figs for me last year. They were very sweet figs with berry flavor. In terms of taste, they were similar to White Madeira number 1. In terms of growth, it looks like White Madeira number 1 too. I guess if not from the Adriatic fig family, this tree may be a hybrid. I'd like to explore it a little more this year when I get more ripe figs from this tree. Mercedes Gem. This is my other Violet de Solier. Like the other one, this is very vigorous but not productive so far for me. Just look at the size of the leaf next to my hand. So let's go to the other fig tree. This is my Exquisito. This fig tree is one of my most prolific fig trees. It is producing large, juicy purple figs. Taste is mild, berry, fruity flavor. Very good. Exquisito. Loaded with figs. Let's go to this fig tree. This fig tree is called Bass Favorite Fig, or BFF. It did not produce any figs last year. It is just forming a couple of figlets, I don't know, double bumps here and there. I hope I can test a fig or two from this tree this year. Bass Favorite Fig. So let's go to this fig. This is a fig from Croatia called Black Zadar. It produced huge, delicious figs last year. The figs are purplish, juicy with mild berry and fruity flavor. They were my biggest figs last year. One of them weighed 135 grams. As you can see, it is loaded with figs. Very prolific. Very beautiful fig tree too. If you are looking for a reliable, prolific fig tree with big figs, I recommend Black Zadar to you. You cannot go wrong. So let's go to this fig. It is called Pont Teresa. It is said to produce great tasting figs. It did not give any figs last year, but it is loaded with figs this year. It is not very vigorous, but seems to be very productive. Pont Teresa. So let's go to this fig tree. This is one of my productive coleodoms that I have. It is coleodom gris. It ripened a couple of figs last year for me, which were my best tasting figs. It has been much more productive this year. This fig is my earliest of coleodoms in terms of fig formation. I guess it will be the earliest in ripening too. Coleodom gris. I intend to graft a cutting from this tree on the Excel. So going to this tree, this is another Basilica Sica fig tree that I have. It has grown vigorously this year, but not produced any figs yet. Basilica Sica, a fig tree from Greek. So let's go to this one. This is my LSU Improved Celeste. My tree is not growing that much vigorously, but it is very prolific. It has produced a lot of figs, almost one at any node. Last year, this fig was my earliest fig tree. It gave a lot of figs and ripened all of them. Its fruits were very sweet and delicious. Sugar content in this fig seems to be high. Definitely recommend this fig tree to anyone. LSU Improved Celeste. This is another black Greek fig tree that I have. It is very prolific, producing small dark figs with sweet and light berry flavor. Black Greek. Very productive. So going to this fig tree. This is my Paradiso Bronze VS. This fig produces sweet berry flavor figs of medium size. Its figs were among my best tasting figs last year. The interesting thing about this fig is that it can ripen figs with great taste even very late in the season. Last year, it ripened a few figs for me in November, and they were very delicious. It kept its leaves even in December. Last year, it was the last tree which dropped its leaves in my entire collection. Paradiso Bronze. Productive too. Paradiso Bronze. So going to this fig. This is a fig from Denmark called Bornholm Diamond. I have this fig in 10-gallon pot. It did not produce any figs for me last year, but I can see that it is loaded with figs this year. I look forward to tasting them this year. Bornholm Diamond. So going to this fig. This fig is called Gozo Jam. It's a fig from Malta. It produced a couple of figs last year, which were ripened very late and did not taste that well. This year I pruned it aggressively and it is left behind in terms of forming figs. I can see that it just started forming some figlets. Gozo Jam. So let's go to this fig tree. This is a fig called Catalan. It is very vigorous, but not productive for me so far. It did not produce any figs for me last year. I see only one fig formed on this tree this year. Let me show you that. Here. So, Catalan. I pinched the top of the branch to force it to fruit, but it seems that it was not that much helpful. So going to this side. This is my Olympian fig tree. This variety is known to be rather early. I pruned this tree aggressively this winter to change its shape. So it is a little behind in terms of growth and fig formation. I can see a lot of figs and figlets form at each node, and also there are a couple of berry buds here. Seems very productive. Last year it produced some figs for me. They were medium to large size with very tasty fruity flavor. Olympian. So let's go to this fig. This is a fig from Italy called Verni. It is very vigorous, but has not produced any figs for me yet. I have pinched the branches so that it is forced to form some figs, but it seems to be in vain. Let's go to the other fig tree. This is another Smith fig tree that I have in pot. It is my only Smith that has produced for me so far. It gave a couple of figs last year, which were very delicious. It is loaded with many figs this year. Smith. Let's go to this fig. This fig tree is called Iranian White. It is very productive and early fig tree. I heard this can be one of the earliest fig trees. It produced a couple of figs last year. They were small to medium size and had very sweet honey flavor taste. Iranian White. So let's go to this side of the garden. This is my Verdino del Nord. It is said to be a good tasting fig. It has grown very vigorously for me so far. It is planted in ground. Last year it produced a few figs late in the season, which were not ripened, but it seems that they have bumped as brebas this year. You can see that this is one of them. This is another one. Another one is in the back. This year it is loaded with small figs and figlets. I like the form of this tree. It has formed like an espalier tree, which was not necessarily my intention. So going to this side, this fig tree is called Martinenca rimata. It is very vigorous, but has not produced any figs for me yet. I have pinched top of the branches to force it to produce fruit, but it seems that what I did was not helpful. Martinenca rimata. Let's go to this fig tree. This is my Termalito, another fig tree found in California. It has not produced any figs for me yet, but interestingly, the cutting from this tree I grafted on the fake Madeira has produced some figlet this year. Termalito. Very vibrant and vigorous. I pinched the top of the branches, but didn't help. Going to this one. This is my Burgan Unknown planted in ground. This fig is very vibrant and regardless of being pruned aggressively this year, has put on a lot of growth so far. I can see a lot of figs also formed on some of the branches. I look forward to tasting them this year. Burgan Unknown. Thank you for watching my fig garden tour. I hope you have enjoyed it. I intend to make more videos of my fig trees and other fruit trees that I grow. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated on my future videos. Thank you.